Picture this. The Emilia-Romagna and Marche regions of Italy, just barely recovering from the devastating floods of 2023, are once again under siege. Storm Boris has struck with full force, triggering mass evacuations and leaving towns submerged in water. Locals are angry, exhausted, and questioning how this could happen again so soon. Is Italy prepared to face a future of repeated flood disasters? Welcome to our channel, where we dive deep into the stories behind the headlines. Today, we're talking about the powerful storm Boris, which has left a trail of devastation across Europe. But Italy, especially the northeastern regions, has once again borne the brunt of this natural disaster. Let's explore what exactly happened, why these areas are so vulnerable, and whether the authorities are doing enough to protect their citizens from future catastrophes. It all started with a powerful storm system sweeping across Central and Eastern Europe, with high winds, torrential rains, and devastation following in its path. Storm Boris killed 24 people across multiple countries and left thousands of homes damaged. In Italy, the Emilia-Romagna and Marche regions were hit hardest. The rains and winds battered the region on Wednesday, forcing authorities to respond quickly. In an effort to save lives, regional authorities evacuated around 1,000 people from their homes. Imagine the panic, the chaos, as families fled, fearing their homes would be washed away. But this isn't the first time the people of Emilia-Romagna have faced such devastation. Flashback to May 2023, a time seared into the memories of residents of Emilia-Romagna. That month, 2 major floods claimed 17 lives and left damage amounting to billions of euros. The scars of that tragedy are still fresh. Reconstruction had only just begun, with people slowly rebuilding their homes and lives. Now, they face the same terrifying situation just a year later. One local from Faenza, speaking to local team journalists, was heartbroken and angry. His house was once again under 1.5 meters of water. This after he had spent months refurbishing it after the last flood. The frustration is palpable. How could this happen again so soon? As the storm raged on, Deputy Transport Minister Galeazzo Bignami revealed an even more tragic development. 2 people were reported missing after they took refuge on a roof, which then collapsed under the intense pressure from the floodwaters. Their whereabouts remain unknown. To prevent further loss of life, schools were closed and train services were suspended across the affected regions. Local authorities, already stretched thin from previous disasters, are working round the clock to manage this unfolding crisis. Ravenna's mayor, Michel de Pascal, made it clear that they were facing an all-too-familiar emergency. In an interview with Radio 24, he expressed his concern, stating that the situation is very similar to what we had last May. As if that wasn't enough, Emilia-Romagna's acting president, Irene Priolo, mentioned that the population remains on high alert. This time, the scale of evacuations wasn't as large as in 2023, where 45,000 people were displaced, but the storm's effects were still profound. One of the burning questions on everyone's mind is, could this disaster have been prevented? Locals are expressing their anger and frustration, not just at the storm, but at the authorities. The recurring nature of these floods has many pointing fingers at the government, accusing them of failing to act quickly and effectively to prevent further damage. One resident's words sum it up perfectly. There's 1.5 meters of water in my house again. Authorities, however, are defending their actions. Priolo responded to criticism by explaining that many construction projects had been carried out since the previous year's floods. These were aimed at reinforcing infrastructure and reducing the impact of future floods. But given the scale of the damage, questions remain about whether enough was done, and if more proactive measures could have prevented the worst. Flooding is becoming an increasingly common threat in Italy, especially in areas like Emilia-Romagna and Marche, which sit at the heart of the country's agricultural and industrial production. With climate change intensifying extreme weather events, the risk of recurring floods is likely to rise. Many are now calling for stronger infrastructure improvements, better drainage systems, and an overall more comprehensive approach to disaster preparedness. However, These solutions require time, resources, and coordination between local, regional, and national authorities. As Storm Boris continues to wreak havoc, Italy is left with hard questions. How will they prepare for future disasters? Will residents ever feel safe in their homes again? The aftermath of this latest storm will no doubt fuel further debate over how to protect these vulnerable areas from the ravages of extreme weather. What do you think? Are governments doing enough to protect their citizens from natural disasters? Or is there more that can be done to prepare for the realities of a changing climate? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on the latest news.